What is going on, Cardano community? Welcome back to the official Dapp Central channel. My name is Fareed, and as a part of today's video, I want to give you guys some updates surrounding the Cardano ecosystem, as well as some of the top builders within the network. Now, if you guys are brand new to the channel here, my goal is to provide you guys in the community with the latest news, tutorials, and reviews surrounding the top projects. And so as a part of today's video, we're going to kick things off like we normally do by reviewing Cardano news and general development updates. And then following that, we're going to talk about JED and SHEN and the fact that SHEN holders should now have received their first SHEN airdrop rewards within their wallets. Thirdly, we're going to talk about JPG Store and the fact that they've now hinted at a marketplace specific token and exactly what that means for members like you and me within the Cardano community. Fourth, we're going to wrap up by talking about Minswap and their parabolic growth, in which I'll be reviewing their monthly stats, comparing February and January. And then in closing of this video, we're going to highlight an upcoming testnet, which will be bringing wrapped Bitcoin to the network, and that's going to be the AnetaBTC platform. Now, if you guys are not aware, I recently did become a SPO or a single stake pool operator. And I just released a video yesterday actually highlighting the current status and where we are with the progress of the stake pool. So if you are a delegator, then definitely make sure to check out that video. And then moving forward, I'm going to be doing my best to release, if it's not going to be at least monthly, maybe bi-weekly videos, just kind of highlighting the progress of the actual stake pool itself. That said, if you guys want to support me on my mission to continue delivering educational content in Cardano, then consider delegating with the stake pool, which is stake pool ticker DAPP. Again, thank you to all of my delegators, and a big thank you to my latest delegator who has delegated over 500,000 ADA. I really do appreciate it. And again, without the community, there is no channel. Moving straight into the very first topic for this video, we're going to be talking about GitHub daily development activity. Now, if you guys don't know what GitHub is, this is going to be a software development tracking platform, which basically allows for you to commit code onto repositories. That said, it reads here, according to the statistics from GitHub, the dev team of Cardano ranked number 2 in contributing to the network. We're still working despite the market's condition. Now, one thing I want to highlight here is that they don't actually let us know what this is counting, right? So when you're developing software, you can be counting commits, you could be counting pull requests. There's just a different number of things that you could be counting. So I would like a little bit of clarity here as to exactly what we're measuring. But we have Polkadot coming in at number 1 with 914 of whatever kind of development activity that they're tracking, with Cardano right behind them with a total of 684 bits of activity, followed by Cosmos at number 3 with 620. Now, after that, I do kind of get lost there. The only other platforms that I really recognize are going to be the Chainlink platforms, Decentraland, and Ethereum coming in there at the very bottom with 375, bits of activity. Now, given that a lot of people are familiar with Ethereum, I'm going to kind of pick on them just a little bit here, but Cardano is almost at 2x the activity right now than Ethereum. And Polkadot is actually going to be another chain, right, which has not gotten a lot of attention, at least on this channel specifically, but it does look like they are doing an amazing job there of delivering when it comes to development. Now, two chains that I would love to see begin to have more development activity would be Ergo and Algorand, which I would actually be planning, or I will be planning on expanding to, not in the immediate term, but definitely over the course of the next year or so. So that's going to be the first bit of positive news there that we've got surrounding Cardano in the recent GitHub development activity. Moving right along, I want to talk about the most traded tokens within the last 24 hours. So we are now on the very 1st of March. I hope you guys had a wonderful month of February. I know I definitely did, with a lot of things going very well throughout that month. Now, at number 1, we've got Meld. I've mentioned this before. They've had a total of $1.2 million traded over the course of the last 24 hours, but it seems that every time we review this chart, which is about once per week, Meld is always coming in at number 1. This is a project that's going to be focusing on Cardano, right? Bringing DeFi to the broader community with a lending and borrowing protocol. That said, they're currently on their testnet. And if you guys want to find out more about what they're building, make sure to check out my full dedicated playlist specifically for Meld. Coming in at number 2, we've got the World Mobile Token with I want to say a quarter of the value there, or about a third of the value there, with almost 400,000 ADA, or excuse me, $400,000 being traded in the last 24 hours. So that really goes to show exactly how much more trading activity has really been going into the MELD protocol. Now, World Mobile right now, I believe, is attending a not a seminar, but they're attending an event right now, and I'm going to have a full dedicated update here coming soon for that platform, highlighting their presence at that event. But I do want to mention that right now they are actively onboarding additional Earthnode operators as a part of their AYA public testnet. So if you guys own an Earthnode, make sure to check that out. Go ahead and get ready for the actual release of the AYA public testnet, or the mainnet launch. But in the meantime, we are also expecting to release or to review the white paper. So as that gets released, I will be doing a full deep dive to bring you guys the latest surrounding the AYA white paper. Coming in at number 3, we've got JED with $142,000 being traded over the course of the last 24 hours. Now, I'm going to be talking about JED here in just a second, but we've just seen the first bit of SHEN rewards going out to those holders. If you guys don't know what SHEN is, this is going to be the reserve token, basically backing the actual JED that's being minted on chain. On top of that, JED, I believe, is contributing to about $12 million US locked in total value locked for the Cardano network. Now, quickly breezing down the rest of the list, we've got the NMKR token, the Ego token, Revuto, IUSD from Indigo, ADAX, which I'm actually surprised to be seeing here, given the fact that we just recently saw one of their Twitter posts highlighting the fact that they had not made any contributions to the actual Cardano ecosystem. That said, I do think that it was a disgruntled employee that made this post. So maybe this is trading volume on the sell side, not necessarily the buy side. And then in closing, we've got ADA Finance, or AADA Finance, as well as the SHEN token. Moving right along, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about JED. Now, as I mentioned, we just saw the first set of token rewards go out for SHEN holders. So it reads here, SHEN delegation rewards for epoch number 392 and 393 have been airdropped to holders' wallets. You can check your rewards at the link below, which is the official JED website, which is going to be jed.xyz, if you guys want to go ahead and actually get access to this on your own. Now, if you guys are not aware, right, these rewards will be going out every 4 epochs. So instead of seeing this distributed on the network like we would normally see with Cardano staking, this will actually be going out every 4 epochs, and you don't have to do anything. All you need to do is hold the SHEN token in your wallet, and you will be eligible to actually go ahead and receive these tokens. Now, the next thing I want to mention is going to be on the same topic, which is JED. And this is that if you want to also be able to continue earning rewards by holding SHEN, you can still provide liquidity on the Wing Riders DEX and still earn your rewards. So it reads here from the official Twitter from the Wing Riders DEX, great news for SHEN holders on the Wing Riders DEX. If you provided liquidity, you're not losing out on Cody's airdrop rewards, thanks to our successful tech integration. Every 20 days, or every 4 epochs as I just mentioned, our liquidity providers will receive from the Cody network their staking rewards. Now, I do also want to mention that the Wing Riders team has just made a pretty big update when it comes to their charting features, which they've just launched. Now, what this is going to do is basically give users on their platform the ability to dive in and be a little bit more technical directly from the deck. So I mentioned this in my prior video. I do think that this will be the norm moving forward, but if you guys want to find out more about that, I'll probably end up releasing a fully dedicated video showing exactly how the charting features work. Now, the cool thing is that if you use Minswap or Wing Riders, they're basically going to be using the same kind of charting plugin, right? So the layout will be very similar, and the feel of it will be very similar. Now, the only difference that I've noticed between the Wing Riders trading platform, or the Wing Riders charts, I should say, between the Minswap charts, is the fact that on Wing Riders, you're going to have the ability to actually see the total value locked using charts, as well as the pools liquidity, right? So you can actually see exactly how much people are trading, how much people are taking out, etc., using their charting function. But that is going to wrap it up there for that particular update. Next, I want to talk to you guys about JPEG.store and the fact that this particular marketplace may be bringing a brand new token for the marketplace. So let me go ahead and quickly share my screen here. As you guys can see here, this is going to be a teaser which was just released by the team, highlighting that they might be releasing a token very, very soon. So as you guys will see there flash, we've got $JPG. So what could this mean for the community, and exactly what will the use cases be for this token? I personally think that this will be providing users within the JPEG.store ecosystem with potential revenue sharing features. Again, I'm not necessarily sure why they would need to release a token this late in the game, and the fact that they own 95% of the market share right now as a marketplace. Again, I'm not sure why they've decided to do this now. Now, I do want to say though, if I jump over to a competitor that will be launching very, very soon, which is going to be Flipper.io. As you guys can see, this particular platform, when they launch, they do plan on having a marketplace specific token. So this is what I would have expected from JPEG.store, but maybe, right, they've seen the competition on the horizon bringing their own token and a little bit of utility for holders of their token, right? And so they might be looking to do something very, very similar. Again, this is why I mentioned in my previous videos that competition really is key here, right? If we don't have people, competing against JPEG, they may not necessarily feel the need to innovate. And again, the fact that they've got 95% of the market share, they're already in a very, very comfortable place. Again, not to take away from anything that this particular team is doing, because they are a leader in the space, and rightfully so, because they provide a good product. But this is one of the reasons that I personally think that we might be seeing the JPEG Store token coming online. Now, we've also got another competitor, which I talked about here as a part of my prior Cardano Scoop updates, and that's going to be Plutus.art. This is going to be a brand new NFT marketplace, again, competing, right, not only with Flipper.io, but also with JPEG.store. So again, this is going to be keeping all of the marketplaces on their toes, similar to what we've seen with the DEXs on Cardano, in which we kind of saw SundaeSwap come out the gate as the very first AMM style DEX, right? Followed by the developments that we've seen on MuesliSwap, as well as Minswap and Wingrider. So I think that overall competition is great, and the fact that we're now starting to see more marketplaces come online, I think will only further the development rate for these particular platforms. As newer platforms bring in new ideas, you can definitely see them, you can probably expect to see them implemented on JPEG.store and vice versa, right? Newer marketplaces will see exactly what's working good on JPEG.store and potentially implement that on their own marketplace. Moving into the next topic for today, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about Minswap. Now, this update here is going to be an interesting one, because I'm going to be talking about their monthly stats in review. Now, this marketplace has been growing at a parabolic or an exponential rate. First off, congratulations to this platform. Every time that I'm asked about, what my top favorite not marketplaces, but my top favorite DEXs on Cardano is, I always mention the Minswap protocol. Now, that said, if we look here, it says this month was the highest volume month for the Minswap DEX, with 161 million ADA in trading volume, which is going to be a 61% month-over-month increase. This was literally the same exact announcement that we got last month, right? In which they had hit 100 million in terms of trading volume, which that was also an all-time high. So what I want to do is briefly compare this month, which is February that just passed, as well as with the January month, which was the first month of this year. So in terms of TVL, right, total value locked, as a part of February, that currently set at 105 million ADA, which equals about $38.5 million USD, which is going to be a 29% increase since January. In January, we had 81 million ADA with $30 million locked. In terms of trading volume, last month in January, that was sitting at 100 million even, and that's now up to 161 million, which is a 60% increase. In terms of monthly unique active wallets, in January, that's set at 17.7K, and it's now sitting at 19.21K. So an additional two or so thousand new users coming into the platform, or about 8.5% increase. In terms of the most traded tokens, I'm going to kind of briefly touch on these. In January, we had number 1, AGIX, or the Singularity Net token, number 2, World Mobile, number 3, Meld, and number 4, Society. Whereas this month, we still have AGIX as number 1, But now we've got the NTX token, and then we've got the Min token, which is the native governance token for Minswap, followed by World Mobile. So we've got two members from last month, which are still here in terms of the top traded tokens. And then we've got the new entries, which are going to be NTX and the Min token. Now, coming in terms of high APR farms, last month we had Indigo, AGIX, or the Singularity Net token, followed by Makasi, and then the ADA Greens pair. This month, we've got the Tosi Drop token, NTX again, Indigo, and Singularity Net. So again, we've got two people or two protocols, right, which are going to be Indy and AGIX, which are still remaining in terms of highest APR farms. But we've gotten two new entrants, which are the Makasi token and the NTX token as well. Now, do be careful, guys, when providing liquidity as a part of APRs or the farming operations on any of these platforms, as you could suffer impermanent loss. And I always recommend to you guys to make sure to do your own research prior to participating in DeFi in general. Now, in closing here, I just want to highlight their fee switch. So they basically reduced the amount that they were going to be charging for fees and redirecting to their treasury. And as a part of the month of January, that currently set at about 48,000 ADA. That was the total amount of fees accumulated. This month, that's currently sitting at over 143,000 ADA that they've now accumulated as a part of this new fee structure. So over close to about 100,000 ADA captured in just a single month in terms of trading activity. So hopefully you guys can see exactly why this has been one of my favorite dexes as a part of the ecosystem. They just continue to deliver and they continue to grow month over month. Now, I would love to see something like this for other protocols, including Sunday Swap and Wing Riders, as well as Muesli Swap. I think that this gives the community a really solid idea as to how the actual protocol or the DEX is progressing. Moving into the very last topic for today, I want to highlight an upcoming testnet that will be bringing wrapped Bitcoin straight to Cardano. If you guys have not heard of AnetaBTC, they're going to be hopefully launching their testnet here on Cardano as a part of the month of March. So it reads here, for March 2023, their game plan is to, on Cardano at least, launch the public testnet. If you guys are not aware, they've already launched their testnet on the Ergo platform. Number 2 for Cardano is going to be to have open source smart contracts. And number 3 is going to be to complete their security code audit. Now, on the Ergo blockchain, which I just mentioned, already has a public testnet released. What they want to do there for the month of March is go ahead and open up the source code for their backend systems. They're also going to have a AnetaBTC bug bounty program, and then they're going to aim to launch on the mainnet in March. If you guys want to wonder, if you guys are wondering exactly how this protocol will work, let's just quickly highlight this visual. So we're going to start here on the left-hand side here, in which we're going to have a user add their ADA address to a BTC transaction metadata, right? You're then going to take that BTC or that Bitcoin, put that into a vault. You're going to confirm the Bitcoin transaction. And then on the Cardano network, they're going to have a vault holding the CBTC token, which is going to be their representation of the Bitcoin token, which will be minted once you've actually locked up the Bitcoin here in the Bitcoin vault on that particular network. So again, it's a very simple process, but this is basically how the majority of bridging mechanisms within the Cardano ecosystem or just within crypto work in general. So this is not anything that's groundbreaking, but I do want to say that you do have to keep in mind that if there's ever any risk or if there's ever any issues that occur here on the Cardano side of the token here, that could basically prevent you from going back onto the BTC side. So now in terms of adoption, I'm not exactly sure what platforms they're going to be integrating with. For example, because we've just seen the launch of JED, we've seen additional protocols on Cardano basically saying, hey, we're going to support JED when it comes to our DeFi platforms, right? So what I'm waiting on to see is once we do have CBTC on the network, who exactly is going to be allowing for transactions to take place using CBTC, and exactly how will that work in the actual ecosystem. But either way, I'm excited to have Bitcoin on Cardano, but keep in mind, this is not going to be the first asset or the first asset representing Bitcoin, I should say, on Cardano. We have IBTC, which is going to be a synthetic token or synthetic representation of Bitcoin being developed by the Indigo protocol, which is officially live right now. And if you guys hold IBTC, you're basically going to be exposed to the price action of Bitcoin. So it's going to be a very similar process or concept, but keep in mind that the way that you actually earn the asset representing Bitcoin is going to be different. On Indigo, you can actually mint it directly from their platform. And then from AnetaBTC, you will have to actually lock up real Bitcoin in order to mint any of the CBTC token. That is going to do it. And you guys can definitely bet that as this protocol comes online, I'm going to be doing a full testnet review, highlighting how you guys can go ahead and get your hands on this CBTC token. Thank you guys, as always, for tuning in into today's Cardano Scoop episode, in which we talked about the development on Cardano when it comes to GitHub commits, as well as the top traded tokens within the last 24 hours. Following that, I highlighted the first release of the SHEN rewards for their holders. And then in closing, we talked about JPEG.store, Minswap going parabolic, and the upcoming AnetaBTC testnet. If you guys have any questions about any of the platforms that I talked about today, please make sure to leave a comment down below. If it's your first time stopping by and you found this video to be useful, please make sure to tap that like button and consider subscribing. That said, I will see you guys in the next video.